In this video, I am going to discuss about the replicate objects and drawing points and how to divide a beam or column sections, column lengthwise. Okay, so here we are going to apply some beams and columns on the existing grid. I have prepared the grid already. Okay, so I'm just going for the draw, and you can go for draw beam, and you can just go for draw beams and columns. So as I discussed in earlier videos that when we want columns or beams in all the stories, we need to set up the all stories option. So here we can set one story, all stories or similar stories. If you are mistakenly you have set the one story here, okay, and you have drawn one beam here and you want to replicate that for different stories, okay. So in that case we can use replicate command over there. So let us draw one beam in fourth story, or you can just go for the base story or whatever floor you want to define that one. So just I'm going for escape and selecting the plan option, and I'm going to set it for base view. Click on apply and OK. So right now we are in the base, okay, and whatever I'm going to draw here, that has to be repeated for different floors. So it can be repeated by using the similar stories or all stories option, but in some cases we might forget that option and we will be drawing a structure there. So for example, I have taken draw beam and going for the quick draw beams, and we need to choose the property. So I have created the property also. Just I'm going to select the beam here, and I'm going to quick select all the grids here, okay, and we can see that beams have been formed in the base floor, okay. So I want to replicate them, okay, I want to copy them in the remaining stories. Of course we can draw for each floor, or we can go for similar stories, but in case if you want to replicate or if you want to create number of identical copies at a time, then in that case you can make use of replicate command, that is Ctrl R, and you are going to get this window. Or else you can just go for the view option, edit option, and you are going to have the replicate option here, and click on that. Again you are going to get this window. So before applying this, you need to select the members to be replicated, okay. I have selected these two frames here for example, and it could be linearly copied, that is in X and Y direction, that is in plane view, okay. So if you want to copy them in story wise, so just go for the story and select the number of stories over there, okay. So for example, I want to copy them in 1, 2, 3 and 4th floor, okay. So click on apply and OK. You can see that the beams has been repeated there. Since I have selected the joints also, those are also been repeated there, okay. So for example, again I am just selecting the right side of the portion and going for Ctrl R and going for story. I am going to choose only story 1 and story 2. So just deselecting the story 4, click on apply and OK. So we got the beams in other portion also like this, okay. So you can make use of right and left arrow keys on your keyboard, and you can simply rotate the structure on your screen. Simply rotate the screen here. And the next one is, if you want to divide your beam into number of parts, okay, so that can be divided by using the divide option in edit menu. So simply go for edit menu, and you are going to have the edit frame option. Just go for divide frames, okay. So I'm going for divide frames, and of course before that we need to select the frame here, whatever you want to divide. So for example, I want to divide these two beams into 3 equal parts, okay. So I want to divide into 3 equal parts, okay. So click on apply and OK. So you can see that some points has been formed here. So in this way we have divided the beams, okay. So this will be useful while creating the staircase. And if you want to place or offset any point, then you can go for draw, and here you are going to have the draw joint objects, okay. So simply you can click on that, and simply you can pick the point wherever you want to place that point, or you can simply go for the offset distance here, okay. Under properties for object, you are going to have the plan offset in XYZ direction. So whatever point you are going to select there, if you want to get that offset of point, so then you can just mention the distance in mm. Be careful here. So since we have taken the grid in meters and the units here for offset is in mm, so you have to give in mm. Say for example, I am going to mention 1000 mm, that is 1 meter offset here. in x direction, that is we are going to get the copy in right direction. Okay, so for example, just I'm going to pick this point, and you can observe that at 1 meter we got the point here. Okay, so for example, I want to give in y direction, so simply go for 0 in x direction, and in y direction mention it as 1000. So 1000 mm, enter, and just select the point. If I'm just going to select this, and we got the another point here. Okay, in this way we can divide the beam manually also by using the draw point option. Okay, so either by specifying the offset, or you can place it manually also. If there is an intersection, or there is any reference point, you can manually place it also. Okay, so in this way we can divide, or else we can just draw a point, or we can offset the existing point to divide an object here. Okay, to divide a beam or column like that. And the next one is we can add the extra grid lines to the existing grid system also. So in order to do that, just go for the draw menu, and you are going to have the draw grids. Okay, so just you can go for draw grids, and so wherever you want to draw the grid, say for example, I'm just going to take one point, and whatever direction in x or y direction, so simply you can draw the exact straight line grids. Okay, or you can just define at certain angles. You can see the length and angle on the screen here. Okay, like this you can just draw the extra grids. Okay, or else you want to define inside the existing grid, so just take the start point, and whatever direction you want to specify, you can just specify the direction and just give the length also. Okay, so I mean, like, you can see the distance on the screen, so according to that you can fix the endpoint of the grid. So I have defined one grid line here, and similarly I want to define another grid line in middle of this. So 2 grid lines has been placed here, and same can be observed in the 3D view also. Okay, so if you want to just rotate the screen, and you can observe it here. Okay, or you can simply change it for top view, or like you can just go for base view here. Since I've drawn only in the base view, you can see that one story is there. Okay, so if you want to apply for all the stories, just you have to go for the all stories or similar stories option at the bottom. Okay, so in this way we can either divide the beam or replicate the points, or else we can just draw the extra grid lines by using the draw option. Okay, so we have used draw grids option and draw joint objects to divide the beam or to place a reference point there. Okay, and another method is we are going to have the draw reference point. Okay, so this is nothing but same, we can make use of this offset again, but here we are going to use the grid system. Okay, so on the grid also we can just place a point like this. Okay, previously we have placed the point on the beams, and now we will be placing the points on the grids also. Okay, and you can see some lines coming here. Okay, so these are something like reference points. In this way we can divide the required object by using these all the options, and we can replicate the objects also.